Hey y'all, it's me for an unedited Check the Rhymes chat. I'm Shamika, and I hope you all are out there doing well. I haven't done one of these in a minute, and so this is the first one for 2024, and you're like, what is going on? So a lot has been happening. I personally got sick with the upper respiratory crap that was going around like right after Christmas, so it had me down for the count, child. I'm still coughing a little bit. I couldn't even go to my yoga classes. I couldn't do nothing. I did. I don't think I've had that much rest in so very long. But there's still content coming out. We just kicked off season 2 of Ladies Edition podcast. And if you're not familiar, the Ladies Edition podcast is hosted by myself and my co-host Shelly Cheyenne, and we talk about women's health, reproductive health, talk about experiences with fibroids, hysterectomies, hot flash, all the things. Because what I found after my hysterectomy was that there was nobody to talk to about this stuff. Going through all the fibroid surgeries, all the this and the that, and trying to make the decision to have a hysterectomy is huge enough in itself. And then honestly, you grieve. You may not think you're grieving, but you do grieve. So anyway, you have to head over to Spotify, check out the Ladies Edition. Season 2 is underway. You have to forgive us because we're trifling. We just started recording again. So more episodes are on the way, I promise. And then we have season 1 is still there for you to enjoy as well. So I'm excited about that. I'm working on another project that I don't really know. It was one of those things where God spoke to me and I ain't quite figured out how I'm gonna pull this one off. But so that'll be coming down the pipeline eventually. I've been appearing on, I guess, TMZ Live, and actually got to appear so far twice. This coming up soon is a third time. And I don't know by the time I decide to post this how many more times I will have been on there, but the Griot with Mark Lamont Hill, it's been an amazing, amazing time. I absolutely love doing his show because he has not an ounce of sense and he's funny. And every person that has also has been a guest contributor with me on there has been hilarious too. And so support their projects when you see us all on there. I love that we supporting Black folks out here, especially Black History Month. So make sure you also support Black businesses and go get your merch. Check the Rhymes merch. I do need to add a promo or some kind of discount or something because I'm horrible at any of that. Also, I'm looking for interns. We need interns for our Ladies Edition podcast. Me need an intern to help out with Check the Rhymes and some other projects. And so hopefully I'll figure out how I can get you some school credit and all the things. So if you're interested, hit me up. And of course, for Ladies Edition, we do need your stories about your fibroid stories, your endometriosis stories, your hysterectomy stories, your menopause, all the things. Send it to us. Let us know. You can always shoot me an email or head over to our Ladies Edition podcast. We have an Instagram now, and we also have our Facebook page. Check the Rhymes is also now on TikTok. So TikTok will have you down a whole rabbit hole. So I have found an app where I don't have to even go over there. I just post it and go, because I will sit there all night scrolling through TikTok, cackling and laughing because y'all ain't got a bit of sense. I think that's pretty much all the updates I have for you guys right now. Still writing, still trying to figure out my next move because I don't know what that is. I'm always trying to figure out what. Rewind the time. So I'm sure you saw around Christmas, I dropped the first Rewind the Time video countdown. I can't tell if you guys like it or not. I saw the views, but I don't know if y'all was feeling that one. I saw the comments, some of them. But if you want more of those, let me know because those are fun to do. I'm thinking about doing one for February, not in a romantic love Valentine's Day mood. So it probably will not be love songs for this month. But I'm thinking Black History Month. So if there are some songs that you love that represent Black History Month, and I already know y'all, James Brown, I already know. But if there's some other ones, let me know. And again, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, all the things. I really appreciate it. I wanted to share a story really quick about sometimes that just when you just have to be nice to people, right? I don't mind helping out sometimes, but you got to know how to talk to people for one. And so someone had asked if I would help out with something, and I eventually said no because it became almost very aggressive and the tone was disrespectful and not I'm still on a grief journey. There have been more deaths in my family over this past few weeks. So my grief is triggered each time something happens. There are days where I'm in that grief valley where I can't get up. There are days where I just am struggling. And of course, being sick during those past few weeks doesn't make it any better. So, by someone constantly just not, I don't want to call it harassment because that's not really what it was, but it just constantly not respecting my boundaries, not respecting when I'm saying, I can't do this right now, and just demanding that I do it. My point in all this is you never know what people are going through. And when they tell you what they're going through, you have to give them grace, especially, it's not a time to come back and clap back with, well, I had this happen. Well, I had this happen. Okay, we all are going through stuff, but that doesn't make somebody want to help you when you clap back with that, or when you clap back with um, just I don't know. It's tone for me. And in 2024, I'm not dealing with people crossing those boundaries. I'm not dealing with just drama, none of that. So that was one story I wanted to share. But another on the flip side, a story of a wrong text. And I love this because I was sitting here one night and I get a text from an older woman down the street. She was trying to text somebody else to tell them the story about why she was going to end up spending her birthday alone. And she was waiting on concert tickets. An artist gifted her those tickets, but she also wasn't aware of how it works when an artist gifts you a ticket, or says they're going to leave you tickets or send you tickets. What it means is really they're going to leave it at the box office or will call, but you won't know till the day of usually, that unless you know that artist personally. But if you've won tickets or whatever the case is, you're not going to know till day of often, or unless somebody calls you that morning or the night before and says, hey, I got your tickets, but they're going to be at will call. So she was checking the mail and looking for the stuff. So I responded back, let her know like how this works. And I said, you know what? If you want to go to this concert, I'll go with you. And it wasn't even about the free tickets because she still didn't know if she was going to get them. So I was trying to really, really help her, because I'm going to tell you why I decided to help her. When my granddaddy died, I was out walking around the neighborhood crying and stuff, and I saw her walking. She had told me she was a minister, and she was walking with me and she was explaining to me how she coped with the loss of her husband and the loss of a lot of her family members. And this woman, who I've only met a couple of times, she gave me a hug. I'm trying not to cry now. She gave me a hug and she ministered to me in the middle of that street, y'all. So there was no way that I was going to let her go to that concert and celebrate her birthday by herself. And plus, she can't drive at night. So I said, you know what? I got you. I will. I reached out to everybody I could think of. Can we get her these tickets? Can we get her these tickets? Because I did not know whether or not the person that she said was going to give her the tickets, if that was going to happen. Went to my prayer board, because God, y'all, one of the things is I have found my way back to God during this whole journey. But I went to my prayer board and I prayed that she would get those tickets, that somehow between the two of us, she would get these tickets to this concert, because that is the one thing she wanted to do for her birthday. Because the little raggedy man, let me not call that man names, but the man she was, her man friend had literally come to her house and said he could not go, that he had to go out of town. So that's why she was also going to go just be by herself. And so Saturday morning, she called and she said, so-and-so's manager called. I got the tickets. They're going to be a will call. Do you still want to go? I was exhausted because, for some reason, this fatigue is still lasting and I don't sleep much and I'll just stay on go mode and I judge cheer competitions and I do all the things. So it's like, I still have to find time to rest. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a nap and I'm going to take you to that concert. So we went to the concert dressed in our white. It was Frankie Beverly, because pardon my voice, because I've been out singing like I'm the one on on stage. Stephanie Mills and Patti LaBelle, and we had us a good old time. She told me she hadn't seen Patti LaBelle since Patti LaBelle was with the LaBelles, and she was just blown away by how she hadn't been to a concert in years, y'all. And to see the joy on her face and how excited she was. She wouldn't dance because she said she was saved. But I said, God don't mind a little shimmy. You can shimmy it up, two-step with me a little bit. But, she spent her time, I think, just in the part of the time she was in the moment, part of the time she was recording everything. I showed her how to get on Facebook Live and I showed her how to record on her phone so she could have those memories to keep. And she didn't even think about taking pictures. So I'm like, no, ma'am, let's take a picture. You're all white. Let's take a picture of us enjoying the concert. Let's take a picture of this, that, the third. And so she was so very grateful that she didn't have to spend her birthday alone. And I didn't mind doing that. And it wasn't about, even if she hadn't have ministered to me during that time of like immediate grief, her energy, her vibe, every time I see her, she is ministering. Even when we spoke on the phone the night before the concert for almost 2 hours, y'all, she answered, because usually my granddaddy would have been the one I would have gone to about questions about scripture or the Bible, because that man knew the Bible inside out, front, back, all the ways. He just had that whole thing memorized. But I asked her some questions that I had, and she was able to answer those and put them into perspective. There were things that I had been praying for and asking God for wisdom for. And I think God sent her to me, honestly, because as we sat there Saturday night eating before the concert, oh yes, child, we had us a meal too. She randomly asked me a question, and it was something that I had been praying about. And I thought, have I ever mentioned this to her? Because I don't remember mentioning this to her. And the response that she gave me let me know that that was God giving me my answer that I had been praying about. And she just kept saying, keep praying, God's going to turn it around. And it just brought this sense of peace, because everybody else that I had talked to about this particular situation, their response was everything but that. Everything but that. It was their response I'm new at the word again. So the flesh. It was their response to how they would react according to, sometimes even according to what social media was saying, according to this, according to that. It was not according to, they weren't. Anyway, I don't really know how to explain it, but let me tell you, she ministered to me in such a way that it made sense, and what she said calmed me, and I added what she said to my prayers. And honestly, I've started to see things turn around. Just like she said, don't give up. So other people were telling me to give up. Find something else, find this, do something else, find someone else, find this, that, the third. And yeah, sometimes you can't, even in my grief share group, when I was concerned about friendships that I've lost since all this loss, and I know God does the pruning and all the things, and I didn't mean to turn this into a church sermon, y'all, because I just was thinking about this as I was sitting here. But one of the things is, in my grief share group, the first group that I joined at the very end. So I only got to go to like one class, but they were talking about how sometimes people just don't know how to handle your grief. And so while you're asking them for grace, sometimes you have to give them grace because they don't know what they don't know, right? And so when I went to my second grief share group, That is not the response that I got at all. It was everybody was like, cut up this person off. Don't be friends with them. Cut them off. Did on and on and on. And what I also saw was they didn't have friends around them. They didn't have any of those things. And I didn't lose all my friends. I lost maybe one that was like really close, maybe a couple others that weren't that close, but they were still in my circle. But some of them had nobody. And I thought, if I listen to this advice, and this is not the advice that God told me to follow, I'll be sitting here solo by myself looking crazy like them. And I don't mean to talk about y'all. I'm sorry. But I'm just saying that sometimes you have to discern whose advice to listen to and who not to listen to, and listen to your heart. And listen to if God is your thing, is if that's who you pray to, listen to God or whoever it is you pray to. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm about to embark on a whole some Christian content at some point. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, so that's all I have for right now. Just stay tuned, keep checking out Check the Rhymes. Let me know who you want to hear from, because now I'm now that I'm back, I am back to scheduling interviews and really, of course, I've said this before, that one of the things I really want to do more of is making sure that I'm talking to our legends, because as I watch Frankie Beverly on stage, I'm like, he's getting older. His voice, y'all. One thing I did not like is that host kept saying, this is the last time y'all might see him on tour. Stop prophesizing that over that man. Like, we know it, but you don't need to keep saying it. Like, I know it's the thank you tour. Patti LaBelle is 79. Lord, that woman, Jesus, she's still the voice on her. So amazing. And she looks amazing. Same for Stephanie Mills. These are the legends that I just, y'all. I've always been one that says, if any legend comes to your town, go check them out. Go check them out. Cherish these legends. And so I want to continue to share their stories and allow them to share their stories coming from their mouth. And so if there's a legend or group or somebody that you want to hear from, please let me know so I can go find them and get those interviews scheduled. And so you'll also see me repurposing content because some of you may have missed some of the nuggets in interviews. So as you'll see the YouTube shorts, you'll see them on TikTok, you'll see them wherever else I decide to post them, just because there are some nuggets in there that I'm like, oh, that's good. Or there's a story that you may have missed that I want to share. So if you see some repurposed content, that it's not new, but it's just things that I just think I want to remind you about. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here because I got things to do and I'm hungry and this wig is too tight and yeah, so I also wanted to thank you guys for just loving Check the Rhymes, for supporting Check the Rhymes. And let's see if we can bring home more awards this year. Yes, y'all. Anyway, y'all take care. Bye.